jaw. So I'm going to open my mouth, I'm going to close it, and I'm barely going to touch the skin. Now, does that make any sense? No, it sure doesn't, but it'll work just as well for you. Now, that will take care of maybe 75% of setting the jaw. You've only set it, you didn't fix, you didn't loosen the muscles, that's the next part. But if you go back and check and you look at it and it didn't set the way you wanted, look and see whether the jaw goes and twists when the person opens it. And what you can do is put it behind the mandible, between the mandible, and there's a bone back there called the mastoid, and open it. And if one side is tight and the other one is open, you just get behind the tight side, like a pool shot. You aim the finger, again, just barely touching, at a 45-degree angle, close the mouth normally, and come back and check it again, and probably almost all of them will go away. Now, that's fine, you've set it, but these muscles are still in spasm, and usually on the high side is where the spasm is. And you're going to use all your fingers, and you're barely going to touch, and you can do this right now. So your fingernails are underneath the cheekbone, kind of like this, and you just pick them up and move them, pick them up and move them, pick them up and move them, and do it for maybe 15 seconds. So, do that first thing in the morning, last thing at night, 3 red lines. That's the jaw protocol. And it seems like it's too simple. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do the trigger points for the levator scapulae. So, Carolyn, can you come on over here? So we're gonna say her. Okay. So the trigger point. So typically, what you're going to do with the left side, you're going to stand over here and use your right forearm. And by I mean forearm, it's right here. There'll be a knot there, and you're just going to less than rest it. You're going to take your other hand like a bridge playing pool, slide it underneath, and you're going to do that for about 2 minutes. And that'd be like telling getting somebody that doesn't want to do this is like getting a 2-year-old to stop talking for 2 minutes. Difficult. But if they also have a problem, you can use it as blackmail. And what will happen is, over time, that thing will just kind of melt underneath your forearm. You'll feel it with your... There you go. Now, there's trigger point right medial to the scapula, and you can just kind of put your finger on it and hold it. Maybe hold the top too. Now, in 30 years of doing this, I went about 15 years, and I did this on somebody and they got dizzy. So there's obviously a vascular component to the jaw and to the trigger points that are fired up. And if you do this with somebody, the first time you want to sit them down in a chair, because it's less distance to fall. And you tell them ahead of time that, look, if you should feel faint or dizzy, let me know right away. And so if they did, then what you do is have a glass of water out right away and take it over and give it to them. Lay them down, 5 minutes, it should go away. All right, thank you. So, given that it is as powerful as it is, and the fact that the symptoms that typically are there with a jaw misalignment, vertigo, headaches, stiff neck, could also be a stroke, could be aneurysm. Now, given that 20% of the people that I saw for 30 years had a jaw misalignment, it's unlikely that all of those people do, but the last thing you want is a black swan to show up on your pond. So it's a good thing if you're doing massage to work with a DC or an MD or a DO and establish a relationship and work with them to help your clients or your patients. Another thing is that since ligaments are stretched, and it's going to reform itself over and over and over again. So every time that you do it, first thing, last thing, and 3 red lights, it's going to be out. It doesn't make good sense for you to be the prime caregiver for somebody's jaw. That's just not fair. So what you want to do, and for some people it wouldn't make any sense, but you must teach them how to do it. Keep no secrets. And what will happen is, you would think perhaps that you're going to lose a client, customer, but it doesn't work like that. What happened is you gave them a piece of information, a piece of your heart, and a piece of your art to help them for no good reason. And what will happen is that it will be easier for you to go and take care of that person because you know what's happening, what's going to show up, what to take care of, and you do your little doo-dah real quick in the beginning, and then you've got a fairly clean slate to go and work on things, and it becomes easier for you to take care of them. You're never going to run out of things to do to take care of that person, nor are you going to get rid of them unless they leave town. So what I want to do is I'd like to teach you. Now there's no more to the treatment other than to play with the muscles, and you're going to do it like you're working on a child, and you're going to do it with your fingernails and fingertips and all 5 fingers, and you just kind of roll them around. And you don't want to know exactly what you're going to do, because that way your body can't resist you, because you don't have any idea what random thing you're going to do next. So anyway, now the next important thing, besides how to do the trigger point work for the levator scapulae, is how do we find the misalignment on the jaw. And the way that we find the misalignment on the jaw is to take your fingernails of your index finger, draw it from the trachea, draw forward 1 inch, open your mouth wide, and it'll ride on top of the jaw. And what you're going to see is you're going to see, and you got to believe what you see, is you're going to see one is higher than the other. Or when they open, you might see them twist, and then you go behind the jaw and the mastoid and have them open, and what you're going to find is one side will be smaller and the other one will be larger. So again, this is all there is to it. You're going to draw your fingernail forward, open your mouth, and then believe what you see. And you want to not do this, but so you have something that's straight. And you'll be able to feel their misalignment. Now, I have a friend, and he told me, he said, I can't feel that. And it took me a while to kind of digest it. What is it? We all, I don't think that any of us are really particularly gifted. We get a 10,000 soft touch receptors on the end of your forefingers, It's the thing that you have that brought you here. You actually care. And that is the thing that will give you the information. It's this equipment in your heart, just drawing it forward, doing something very simple. Don't try to make it complicated, because it just ain't. Not at all. And and then the side that goes high, point, and I wouldn't do it because you're actually going to move something. You would point and close your mouth, and then go back and check. And typically, it's going to be even. If it isn't, it's because of translation of the jaw. And you go to the side that's gone posterior, and you point across like a pull shot, close your mouth, and typically it will reduce. Some of them you can't and won't. Very few. Oh, honestly, very few. And then you go back and do the work with your fingertips. 10, 15 seconds. And then even if you do these trigger points are going to be less right away. Thank you. So one more time. Let's have you sit here again, Carolyn. Okay, I'm gonna put her jaw goes high on the left side. She's got a trigger point right here, levator scapulae. I'm gonna take my forearm. I'm gonna come up so that it just sits up there. I'm gonna bring my other hand underneath, and I'm gonna rest it there.